Welcome to DK Talk Radio, the show that brings five friends together. Five old friends and bandmates back together to keep up with each other, keep up with what's going on in the world.
You messed up.
To talk about things we like and to continue to spread the gospel of Christ as far as we can spread it.
And to practice our speaking.
You know, we'll get that one of these days.
Yeah, we got a long time.
There's like 7 things I'm juggling as all that's going on.
Yeah,
and
we should probably record that like as an overlay.
That's a great idea.
So
Brad, you need to learn to do everything better.
You know, I think that we should probably get some British lady on Fiverr to do it for $3.
On Fiverr?
On Fiverr, yep. A very regular British lady.
Or we could just be like, hello, welcome to DK Talk Radio.
Hello. Oh, excuse me. I'm gonna have to.
You get like an old Russian man, like, welcome to DK Talk Radio. Oh, yeah, that's
You know,
Transylvania.
Little.
I'm Count Dracula.
You know,
Blah.
I think this is why they made mute buttons.
Yeah.
You're right.
But we ain't got one.
Okay, so today we are talking about. With me. There's me.
Yeah.
Brad
With you,
Bird.
but not with you.
Well, yeah. We may have ridden together, but we aren't really together.
Right.
All right, so on the show today we've got Josh Given,
Hi.
Stuart Lockwood,
Hola.
and me, Brad Bird. Patrick Franklin and the Boyack couldn't make it today. Kevin Boyer couldn't make it today. They've got other things that they think are more important to do
Patrick
than this.
is currently
Gathering his.
aloha.
Oh, yeah.
He's probably in a grass skirt with coconut bra.
Says there a mute button for the
'Cause that-
picture in my mind.
No, there's not. Sorry, you can't unsee it.
Nope. All right. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about musical history again. We've got a review of a couple of awesome websites, in my personal opinion.
I'm excited about that.
Me too.
Those are fun.
I'm looking forward to that one. Yeah, we'll get to that. Also, we're doing an artist review on a Mr. Jimmy Chamberlain. Very exciting to me as well. And we're going to discuss 2 Corinthians 7, some coolness that's within that segment. So we'll start out today with a little music history. You know what? I'd tell you what, before that, what's gone on since last time? I always forget that.
Well,
You first, too.
I mean, Bitcoin tanked like crazy.
did it finally tank?
Oh, yeah, it cut in half over the past.
Really? What happened there?
Because
Because it was through the roof, and everybody was like, "Oh no, we can't get Bitcoin because it's $76,000 per
Bitcoin.
coin."
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So you had like Doge and all these new ones were popping up.
Yeah.
And
I
now
have
it's
a-
just
Yeah.
And what's with the weird names on them? Doggy.
because
Shark
because
or
people
something?
because people on the internet. Have you not ever seen one of those where they let the internet like choose the name? Like, was it the Royal Navy ship in England, and then they named it that Her Majesty's Bodie McBoatface or whatever?
They actually went with it.
I doubt it. Seriously,
I really wish they would.
that was the name that won, and I was just like, well, that's what happens when you let the internet name stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you, internet.
Yeah, and those guns have to sound like pew pew when they shoot. There's,
You have to
can't be
make
very
them
serious.
sound. It's like, but sir, they don't sound like that at all. It was like
That's all.
at all.
Give me
But
more
it's
pew-pews.
you guys are gonna have to step it up a notch. You're gonna have to make it sound like pew pews.
You know, we're back to the regular British chick again. Sorry.
Oh yeah, that's right. But anyway,
Anyway, so Bitcoin tanked good because I thought it was dumb anyway.
Yeah.
well yeah, I think all of that's dumb. I
I prefer to invest my money in Tales of Adventure and bags of acorns.
Nailed it.
There's a dude
Nailed it.
that's a big customer at my workplace, and he I think he was doing the cryptocurrency thing, and that, it just tanked overnight. And,
Oh no, did it
oh yeah,
break him?
he
too
had like thousands in it.
Well, one thing I've never understood is, like, how do you prescribe value to
something
some
that
ones
has
and
no value.
zeros?
No, Stu, no.
No,
See? No.
just
No.
no.
Okay, well,
He explained it just now.
yeah, I feel enlightened.
Well, they call it goofy
His
things
logic
like
is infallible.
proof of work, and there's another foundational concept behind. I forget what they're called, but it's all mystery and smoke and mirrors, and
Now, I did hear that one story about that dude that had that hard drive that had like hundreds of
Right.
millions on, and he couldn't get into. He had like a handful of password attempts left, and he had offered like $250 million in Bitcoin to someone who could open. I was like, man, I mean, that guy wishes he'd have moved out of his mom's basement much.
you're not kidding. Yeah, or bought a pack of sticky notes.
All right.
All right, so on to today in musical history. And of course, we have the concept of we can vote if it's awesome or not awesome, or who cares if we want to.
We need to come up with like a good voting system.
And like dude perfect buttons that we can push. Maybe my kids would like that a lot.
They would push it all the time.
Also, smash that like and subscribe button,
and
go to my FundMe page. It's going to teach me how to talk.
We have a GoFundMe page.
Nope.
Okay.
I'm also a liar.
But you can make one if you want.
I don't know how. I'm dumb.
Oh. All right then.
So let's get on to today in music history.
Let's do it.
Yes,
So
indeed.
June 7th, music history. We've got some birthdays to start off with. So guitarist Dave Navarro, who played in Jane's Addiction and Red Hot Chili Peppers, was born in Santa Monica, California. Happy
I didn't
birthday,
know that.
Dave.
Yes, very happy birthday.
Yeah.
And I'm not surprised one bit that he's from Santa Monica.
Yeah.
Not surprised.
I can understand.
I mean, yeah.
I can understand.
Yeah, because it sounds very Santa Monican to me.
Santa Monica.
You know, his name
That's racist.
is definitely not to lump all Santa Monicans in together,
Into
but
Navarro.
into Navarro. You know, if you don't like Navarro, I'm sorry, but
I
you guys
never
are all
got-
like Navarro.
I never really got into Jane's Addiction growing up.
No.
But somehow I don't remember. I think my cousin might have given me Jane's Addiction Strays album.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. It's
Really?
It's so good. Yeah.
I have to go back to that because
It's really good.
I couldn't get past their popular stuff. It was awful.
Yeah, well, this album is newer. I think it came out in 2006. You know, because Jane's Addiction, they were around since like the early mid 80s.
Forever. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody knows. They're a couple of big hits. I don't want to sing them because even though we're not monetized, I don't want to get canceled.
Right.
But Strays, but Strays is a really good album, and I was like, man, I could probably play some of this, and I worked on it. I was like, man, Dave Navarro, how are you doing that?
Yeah, he's a good
He's
guitarist.
really good, and
he's killer.
his stint with the Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite Chili Peppers album, but it's got some of the
It's a great album.
best guitar work on there.
Okay.
Some of the best, not the best, because they've had a lot of really good guitar players. But I really like.
They worked really well with them.
Yeah, I was gonna say what he
Yeah, I
contributed
agree.
went really well. Like Airplane is amazing.
Yeah, it's
I
killer.
love that song.
Yeah, that was.
That song is
Those
those riffs are.
Yeah. So the next one, next birthday, 1966, Eric Kretz, the drummer for the Stone Temple Pilots, was born in San Jose, California.
Also, not surprised he's from California.
Yeah. I'm a much bigger fan of old Stone Temple Pilots. There it goes again. Than
My hot dogs are ready.
right. Much bigger fan of
Oh yeah, absolutely.
old STP than
Absolutely.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I let my 6-year-old. I introduced him to STP, starting with Core, and
Good choice.
oh man, he loves that album.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
He loves it.
Oh, it's awesome. Up to let's see, what's the one they came out with after Scott Weiland?
Shangri-La-Di-Da.
No, after that one.
That's the one I didn't buy because that's
After
when,
it?
Yeah, the one after Shangri-La-Di-Da.
number 4 was
No,
number 4 was
because
before
That was
Shangri-La.
before
Yeah,
Shangri-La.
and then
yeah.
five
Number
was
4 is good.
Shangri-La.
Whatever had
and then-
"Thank You" on it. That album that had "Thank You" on it, I thought
It was their
And
last
there-
one, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Wait,
with
and it wasn't
Scott
any
Weiland.
good.
No, it was not any
Are
good.
you sure
No,
that the
I'm not
name
sure.
of that album wasn't "Thank You"?
No.
You know, I will Google it. I have the internet right here. All of the internet.
All of
They
the
let me
internets.
borrow it. Yeah.
Really?
Right at your fingertips.
Let's see. So you can keep talking about old
Okay,
dudes while I'm looking this up.
so I did see Eric Kretz try out this new drum set one time that these guys built out of cardboard. It was a 100% like all the shells were 100% cardboard.
Right?
And he sat down and wore that thing out, and it sounded great, and blew my mind that it was cardboard.
Huh.
It was
Interesting.
cardboard.
Yeah, the shells totally cardboard,
Interesting.
and not like crammed together cardboard. It was like for real corrugated cardboard. Yeah,
He shammed you.
I guess he did. We'll get to that.
He shammed you.
Okay, it looks like after Shangri-La-Di-Da, they just had an album that was just titled Stone Temple Pilots, and then their last one in February 2020 was Perdita.
Yeah, and that one was.
Oh, that one hasn't come out, or it has come out.
It
I
has
don't
come
know.
out.
There's
It
no-
wasn't bad.
It wasn't on the charts at all.
It was a lot calmer.
Perdita. Isn't that the isn't the name of the female Dalmatian in 101 Dalmatians that was
Sure.
quote unquote married to Pongo?
How do you do that? I think it may have been. You may be right.
How do I do what?
Marry dogs.
Well, it's just like they made it where they like got betrothed
in a dog
along
church?
with
In a dog church.
Or the dog
Yeah.
minister.
Oh.
You can do that online. If anybody can get ordained online, why not a dog?
Good point. So, in 1958, Prince, known as Prince Rogers Nelson, was born in Minneapolis, Minnesota, named after his father's jazz combo, the Prince Rogers Trio.
See that? I never knew.
Yeah, that's
I didn't know that bit.
That's kind of cool.
And he is amazing at
Yeah.
basketball.
Whoa. Wow.
Yes,
Like for realsies.
I watched that Dave Chappelle skit, and it was hilarious.
Oh, the best. That, yeah. I think it's better than the Rick James one.
Yeah, the shirts versus blouses, that got me. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I saw a picture of his high school yearbook of him on the varsity team, and it's so funny because he's just like,
Yeah.
but he was so good apparently.
Well, he can get
Yeah.
away from everybody, so
He was-
if he's
he was-
quick enough.
He was very talented. I love Prince.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
very sad that he is gone.
He seemed to be good at just about everything.
And I think they said after he died, they found, gosh, like hundreds of hours worth of stuff that he had recorded in, because he has a large studio at his house. I guess it's probably a compound, but they found hundreds of hours of stuff that had just been completely finished, and he just
Never released.
yeah. And I want to say that I heard that maybe some of it was going to start getting released, but I also am real dumb, and so I probably made that up.
See, that's twice that you're dumb tonight. I don't know, man. I don't know.
You're twice dumb. You're double dumb.
Twice dumb.
Huh? What? What? Huh?
So it's moving on to some actual music news.
Yeah.
In 2011, Def Leppard released their first ever live album, Mirror Ball.
The drummer from Def Leppard's only got one arm.
And you could look into that ball and see yourself
It's a
in a
mirror.
spherical fashion because it was a mirror ball.
Josh forgot we were doing this tonight, and I'm so glad he didn't.
Yeah, me too.
I'm so glad
This
he
is
got
great.
reminded. Yep,
This is fantastic.
because it's a mirror
Silly
ball.
me.
And I wasn't much of a Def Leppard fan.
No, I mean,
I can recognize the talent of a one-armed drummer playing like he played,
yeah,
but
yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
I would
they
like
had
to-
some awesome.
I would like to really sit down and kind of do like an in-depth analysis and like listen to his stuff before he lost his arm and then after,
yeah,
and see, because it's not like he lost any talent.
no,
He might have actually gotten better.
right.
No, because he had to compensate for having.
Well, he built
One
a
less arm.
special custom drum set, so he could do half the stuff with his feet. So
Yeah.
he's up there just, but then you look at his feet and there's
Oh my goodness.
yeah, because he's got all these extra pedals and stuff down there.
You could call mine a special custom drum set, but that's because I'm broke and I gotta buy pieces as they become available.
Well,
That's how that worked out.
that's okay.
So in 2008, on June 7th, Led Zeppelin's Jimmy Page and John Paul Jones make a surprise appearance to jam with the Foo Fighters during their Wembley Stadium gig in London. The one-night-only supergroup plays Rock and Roll and Ramble On. I have not seen that, and I don't know
Dude,
why.
that would be
I've
awesome.
seen it. It's good.
Yeah?
It's
And
good.
and the Foo Fighters didn't know anything about it. They just showed up.
That I don't know about
It's-
that. I'm
it's-
sure.
Or did they plan it with
Surely
the Foo
they
Fighters?
They
showed
probably planned it with
I was
them,
gonna
but
say, surely
That would be awesome if they just showed up and be like, "Dude, we love you
Jimmy
guys."
Page just like shows up backstage. He's like, "Don't you know who I am? I'm Jimmy Page."
Yep. It's like, yes, sir, we do, Mr. Page. Would you like?
yes, sir, we do,
Mr.
Mr. Page.
He's like, as a matter of fact, all of y'all lay down. I'm going to use you as a cap. Now he's Australian.
It's a cap. No, I'm gonna use it as a cap.
As a cabin.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's from Long Island, not too far from Decatur.
All right, so June 7th, 1972, the musical Grease opens on Broadway.
You're the one that I want.
Yeah, that's great. So also June 7th, 1975, John Denver scores his third U.S. #1 hit with Thank God I'm a Country Boy.
Good old John Denver.
Yep.
I thank God every day that he was as well.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good, man. So 1971, Don McLean records Vincent. You guys remember Don McLean?
John McClane.
American
it-
Pie?
John McClane.
No,
yeah,
no,
I was
American
gonna say
Pie.
Die Hard.
Oh, goodness.
All right, Don McClane. Vincent.
Sorry,
You guys are
back
killing
on
me.
track.
No, Don McLean, American Pie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah.
I don't know Vincent, but I know he wrote.
Okay.
Is that the name of that song?
But I don't know how it goes. So.
Bye.
The one that
That's
Weird
all
Al
it's in, yeah.
parodied for Star Wars?
Oh,
That I had
okay.
to listen to
Yeah.
7,000 times when my son discovered Star Wars and Weird Al.
Oh.
And that's not a short song.
No, it's not. It's very long.
It's like 9 minutes. Yeah.
Try driving to the beach, hitting that on repeat.
Nice.
Over and over.
Play it again, Dad.
Pretty much.
That's the folky version of Freebird.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so 1994, the Stone Temple Pilots released their second album, Purple,
One of my favorite.
which goes to #1 in America, sells over 6 million copies on the strength of the tracks Big Empty, Vaseline, and Interstate Love Song.
Interstate Love Song.
Yeah.
Spectacular.
I love
album.
core because it is integral to the 90s
Right.
grunge music scene, but Purple is
And
it's objectively the superior album.
Sure.
And you have to, you got to understand that, somebody would have, a band has to be really good to be able to change their sound, because they changed their sound very drastically from,
From Core to Purple?
yeah, exactly. And even more so from, to Tiny Music.
Well,
man.
And people
it
still loved it.
Yeah.
I hit my
Yeah,
microphone.
it wasn't a massive change from Core to Purple,
No.
but you could see that they were evolving. But I mean, if you look, you go Core and then you skip Purple, then the next album you're like, this is the same band.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. You'd be
yeah,
totally-
especially that one, but yeah.
And it's a maturation process, but it's almost like when they hit Tiny Music that they, I want to say, dialed it back.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't as polished, but it was a bit like the songs on Tiny Music are amazing, and it's got your favorite SDP song on it, right?
Yes. Tripping on a Holy Paper Heart.
Right,
Yeah.
that one. Yes. All right.
Very, very nice.
Yeah, man. So let's see other newsworthy facts in the music world. 1998, Tommy Lee of Motley Crue started serving a 6-month sentence for felony spousal abuse.
Well, that's just a surprise that comes out of nowhere. Who would have ever thought?
Nobody.
Oh, that's awesome. Yep, that's a left field one if I've ever seen it.
Such a nice young man.
Upstanding.
Yeah. So
Paragon of virtue, if you will.
following in the prison sentences, 1994, Grace Slick of Jefferson Airplane or Jefferson Starship is sentenced to 200 hours of community service on charges of pointing a loaded gun at police who responded to reports of a disturbance at her home on March 5th.
And who hasn't, honestly?
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah.
For the record,
Their White Rabbit song, I love that track. It's
Yeah.
so good.
I don't remember it.
That's
off the top
just
of
a
my head.
real, like, these guys were clearly tripping on acid when they wrote and
Yeah.
recorded this.
Were they Airplane at that point or Starship?
I think
Well,
they
they'd-
were Starship.
They'd started the acid by then, so it had to
I
be
think,
Starship.
yeah.
Yeah.
They were
'Cause they
on,
went from Jefferson Airplane to Jefferson Starship to just Starship.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I
And
forgot.
that's how high they got. They went from that to they were with Palpatine.
That's awesome. That's a Star Wars reference, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're good.
The Emperor.
Oh, okay. Is that the one that... Okay, I got you. So in 1993, on his 35th birthday, Prince changes his name to an unpronounceable symbol, making him literally an icon.
To this day, I'm just like... And of course, it's things like that led Elon Musk to name his kid whatever that weird, unpronounceable thing is.
No, I don't pay attention.
Mitochondria? That's pretty...
Mitochondria. That's a little more
Sure.
pronounceable than...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Was it something really scientific or high tech?
Nobody knows. Let's see.
You should look
Continue.
that up.
I'll Google it.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And I do think about stuff like that. Like, how does he sign checks? How do they type that into at the bank when he's opening an account?
What, Elon Musk?
No, well, his kid or
Oh.
Prince symbol.
Oh, yeah, just the... Whoa.
Yeah, hang on. Let's see if it tells us how to pronounce it.
Holy moly.
Uh-huh.
That doesn't even look like a name.
It's not. It looks like a star
It looks-
identification.
It looks like an acronym with some symbols.
Can you play it out loud? You can put it up to the microphone.
Well, I'm just on. Hang on. Let's see if I can find it.
Oh.
Something that's going to show me how to do it.
Okay.
Nope.
Oh, that's why you brought this up a minute ago.
Huh.
Because in 1984, the film Ghostbusters is released.
Uh-huh. And what a landmark
Never seen
that
it.
was.
Never seen it.
Never seen Ghostbusters.
Is that the one with the two guys and the gorilla?
You should probably leave.
I'm just kidding, man. I've seen.
Don't even joke about it. I'd
Back
kill
off,
you.
man. I'm a scientist.
So I'm a scientist. That's great.
Back
So,
up.
the Ghostbusters is released. The theme song bears similarities to Huey Lewis's "I Want a New Drug." Ghostbusters theme writer J. Parker Jr. and Huey settle out of court.
Yeah, Huey Lewis won $5 million.
Dang, dude.
Yeah, but Ray Parker Jr.
I don't think it.
many more
I
millions
honestly
for the song.
don't think that it sounded,
Well-
similar enough to where it sounded like a ripoff.
No, I mean we listened to it before this started, and I'm sure if I looked at all the notes and everything, I'd be like, yeah, okay, this chord progression is vastly similar. I mean you can't tell because of the accompanying instruments
Yeah.
around it. It's not a like, oh, that's a blatant ripoff like that other band, Nirvana stole that song
yeah.
from.
And I'd have to look it up, but copyright infringement with music is not as easily done now. All it takes is just a few notes and
Well,
a difference, and it's like, sorry,
yeah,
it's different.
I mean, you've got artists every day sampling bits and pieces from other
exactly,
songs.
like the
Like, was
case
it
with
Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla
when
Ice.
He, did Ice Ice,
He
was
won
like,
that.
No, man, theirs goes dun 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 dun. Ours goes dun 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 dun. Dun,
Yep.
Yeah. Like, dude.
I know, and yeah, I know
Stop
it's
collaborating
absurd.
with
Yes, exactly. He should have collaborated as well as listening, but but yeah, it's absurd. But he won that. He was right.
Yeah.
They couldn't do anything, and so unless you're like in Japan or something, because apparently their copyright stuff laws over there are insane.
Steal somebody's song, commit
Yeah.
seppuku.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
Get your microphone.
Yeah, it's like harakiri.
Is it falling?
Harry Carey. That's what a lot of
Harry
people around
Carey.
here would say. Harry Carey. My
Oh, there it goes. Bye bye.
microphone's
Steve.
falling.
All right, so while you're doing that, we're going to move into the next segment, which is a couple of website reviews.
This will be fun.
Yeah, not necessarily anything too terribly serious, but these are hilarious to me. The details that get into the dating scene.
I'll pull this up.
Let me find. Yeah. Here we go. The first one here. I'll get it up on the screen so you guys can see it.
I guess I should pull up the feed.
Yes.
Let me do that. Let me so it shows that we've got another viewer.
Oh my.
Hacking the system, bro.
So this first site we're talking about is singles with food allergies.
That's a fascinating topic.
Well, I mean, if I'm allergic to peanuts, I don't want no girl smell like peanuts.
And that's what I guess.
I mean, I don't want no girl that smells like peanuts.
Yeah.
Period. But
I guess that's the whole point. And I
Baby, if
didn't-
you're listening and watching, you don't smell like peanuts. Don't worry.
FYI.
singles food allergies.
Yeah. So I guess they pair folks with similar allergies so that you can
I see.
order from the same menu. I don't know.
Oh, okay. I got you.
There's probably there's dating websites out there for Amish people, anti-vaxxers, Nazis in love, like everything, man.
Nazis in love.
And he's really not exaggerating.
I'm probably not.
So we're checking out the benefits of signing up for a profile on singles with food
All right,
allergies.
let's see if I can find a better deal than what I got at the house.
Well, wow.
I'm kidding, baby.
Yep. Wow.
No, I'm not going anywhere.
So it was a good run while it lasted.
Yep.
Yep. DK Talk Radio's over.
Or Stu's just over. I'm gonna get hit with a rolling pin when I get home.
I thought this was a trial run. Like, wow, okay.
What a break.
So there's nothing on here that points out awesome things about signing up.
Well, there's no benefits to having food allergies.
No, there's not.
I mean,
Except you can find somebody else that has food allergies.
yeah.
Yeah. So
You could be miserable together, I guess.
you can break out in hives together.
Yeah.
Right.
A couple that hives together stays together, Josh.
My hives are better than your hives.
Baby, would you put this cortisone on my back for my peanut hives?
Yeah.
People-
So there's not a whole lot more else
That's just
to talk about
ridiculous.
this one. So let's move on to the next
Yeah,
one.
this is the
which
one I'm looking forward
This
to.
one's awesome in my opinion. SeaCaptainDate.com.
Here's to swimming with bow-legged women.
Yes. This one's awesome
Are
to me.
amazing.
I wonder how many people are actually going in there and just saying that that just creating a profile with Captain what's his name from Jaws.
Oh, Quint?
Yeah, Quint. Just It's like, all right, guys, just too many people's done that.
I'll bring it back. I just wanted Josh to be able to get his thought out, and then we'll get back to.
Good luck with that.
My wife just responded to my comments with a gif of Ice Cube saying, "Bye, Felicia." I guess all my stuff's gonna be out on the lawn when I get home. Sea Captain Date.
SeaCaptainDate.com, and I like the Sea Captain search. This is awesome. I'm a woman seeking sea captains. That's just
So it's
hilarious.
just one woman looking for all the sea captains she can get.
Looking for all the sea captains.
Wow, Love Boat, here we come.
4 dates.
Wow.
And so the search starts within 25 nautical miles of your zip code.
Well, it's got to be. It's got to
Yeah,
be
you gotta have
in
sea
nautical
lingo, yeah.
distance.
But 25, there's going to be sea captains within 25 nautical miles. That's awesome to me, man. And apparently they already have thousands of sea captains online.
Now, do they have to be sea captains? What about if you live on a lake?
No, these are sea captains.
So they have to be like salty sea captains.
Yeah.
Preferably peg leg included.
I'll see if I can find freshwater captains
Freshwater captains.
at some point. Yeah.
Well, that's hard and time demanding work. So
Being a freshwater captain.
yes, a lot of people don't realize the difference between being a sea captain and a freshwater captain. And let me tell you,
There's a difference.
there is a difference.
Okay. So let's check the about. Let's see how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Oh, this is great.
This is as if we had taken the red pill.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Dating can be a stormy sea. Oh, this is fun, dude.
This
I
is
love
lazy
this one.
writing right there.
So I want you guys to know. Let me switch back to some camera. Real
That you
quick.
made a profile on SeaCaptainsDate.com.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you should-
But that's a great idea. I'll
Maybe I will.
yeah, you're single. Do it.
you can buy a boat.
Challenge accepted.
Dude.
I just accepted that challenge for you, Josh.
Great idea, dude. You could do a search for a female sea captain.
How many of those are there? you
There's
think?
probably not
There's
many.
probably more than you think.
I'm
and
sure.
I would-
It's just probably mostly male.
If I had to guess, you aren't interested in somebody you would call a salty dog.
No.
That wouldn't interest me.
Look at that salted dog there.
But what I was going to say was this website was one of the things that I found. I probably found this 10 years ago. This website.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it? And it's still active and up
Well,
and running.
it's one of those things that this is one of the reasons I wanted to do this show was this website. Because dating can be a stormy sea.
That is amazing. That is amazing.
Danielle just wrote me and said that I'm not allowed to sign up for those. Josh. Oh my.
Well, he's not going to sign up with his real name, Danielle.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna come up
Daniel
with a
Burke.
really awesome sea captain name.
And I'm afraid to click on
Just be
browse.
Captain Crackers.
Yeah.
Let's click on browse real quick. We'll see.
Okay.
There you go. That dude is a sea captain. Oh, this is amazing. Can I do this on here? Is this legal?
I don't know. We'll find out.
It's public. I don't know.
We'll find out.
Okay. This is awesome. Like these
Don't
guys
show
are
nobody's
straight
names
up
or
sea
addresses.
captains. But I'm still searching as a woman, so I'm gonna
Yeah, you are.
let's check.
Right.
Nope.
We're gonna have to get into a female persona, I guess, to do that.
I'm Brad Arella.
Okay, let's
This
let's,
one over here looks
let's
pretty
look
good.
for some sea captains as a dude. Okay, that doesn't change it. All right, so we're getting into some. Let's get back to some cameras, so that's no longer.
I'll get off the feed and I'll go to the website and I'll peruse it.
Okay,
And
so if you
VPN.
find any,
like
any
Oscar.
hilarious sea captain profiles, let me know.
Yeah.
This one's online.
Oh,
Nice guy
oh, oh.
2002. All right, we're gonna close that out. So is that enough for SeaCaptainDate.com?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so.
We can move on from there. All right, so you're gonna keep looking for
Yep. Oh, yeah.
sea
Yeah, I'm
captain
perusing.
profiles.
Yeah.
Okay,
I got my swim trunks and my flippy floppies.
no making copies.
No.
So let's see. The next segment we've got here is an artist review. One that I picked myself because I'm a big fan of this dude.
All right.
So Jimmy Chamberlain.
Oh, Jimmy Jam.
You guys know Jimmy Chamberlain?
From the Pumpkins.
Yep, from the Smashing Pumpkins.
Yes.
Let's see. We can get some pics so you guys can.
Every single one of these guys has beards, as a sea captain
Well,
should.
they're sea captains, man. There we go. Yep. Okay. So, one thing I wanted to point out is I think we should shorten Jimmy Chamberlain's name to J Sham.
J Sham?
J Sham, okay.
Yeah,
I can
yeah,
do
I
it.
think that would work for him.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I've named all of the folders that have his pictures in them here. It's all Jay Sham.
Ooh, I wonder what he would think about. You think he would approve of that?
Well, when I get coffee with him next week, I'll ask.
Good.
Yep.
Let us know what he says.
I will. You got it, dude. So this is a picture of Jimmy Chamberlain that we're looking at. He's playing a DW kit, which is my favorite drum manufacturer, drum workshop.
They make good
Go
kits.
DW.
Oh yeah, DW. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That's a good
Darkwing
one.
Duck.
Yeah. Exactly. I know. I always thought that too.
I beat you
It's
to it,
like,
Josh.
my DW.
I beat you to it.
Did we ever learn that?
What, Darkwing Duck?
Yeah. Did we ever learn Darkwing Duck?
No, but I've got it memorized.
Yeah.
Good.
So
A
if
cloud
you
of
need-
smoke and he appears. Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to do it. Though.
Also, Gummy Bears got that down
Well,
too.
you can play Gummy Bears
Yeah.
if I recall correctly.
I could play Ghostbusters.
But see, then we got to pay Huey Lewis.
Aw.
Stu, come on.
That's true.
All right, so back to Jay Sham. So this gentleman is most well known for being the amazing drummer for the Smashing Pumpkins. I've got in parentheses here, insert adjective, because the guy's incredible. And I guess I didn't realize how incredible until I heard him play jazz. So in the Pumpkins, he's completely amazing, blows my mind.
Yeah.
But then I heard him play jazz with another guy. I'll get to that in just a second, and it's just
It's completely different.
it's
animal on
another
that.
level of
Yes.
holy cow. Yeah.
Well, that's like Stuart Copeland, listening to
Yeah.
him on the Police, and then his stint with Oysterhead,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you know,
Which I need to go back and listen to that again.
Yeah.
I didn't lock it in my brain like some of the other super
I've got
groups.
it in my disc changer right now. I'll
Nice.
give it to you when we get out of here. You can borrow it.
That's cool. That's cool. Let's see. So the very first Pumpkin show was July 9th, 1988. It had Billy Corgan on bass, James Eha on guitar, and a drum machine.
Was it really that late? Was their first show?
I think so.
Man,
I think so.
okay. I thought they were around a little bit longer.
No. So Jimmy Chamberlain caught one of those shows and hated it. But because
I could do better than that.
well, I mean, it's Billy Corgan and James Eha and a drum machine
Oh, yeah.
before they were super
So
talented.
it's
I guess.
basically early DK
Yeah,
before Brad.
maybe.
Our drums were just
Yeah, beatbox in the back of the guitar. Yeah. So, but because of the drive that Billy Corgan and James Eha had, he joined the band, and pretty soon after that, ended up totally changing the feel of the music that they made. In the early years, let me get you a picture of Jay Sham. Early years. Yeah, that's a good one. So in the early years, Jimmy's dad was a clarinet player in the middle of the music scene when big bands and swing music were king. So of course the house was filled with like Gene Krupa, Sonny Greer, folks like that. His brother Paul was also a drummer. So I'm sure that there was never a quiet moment in the house. Yeah. Jimmy himself started playing when he was 9 years old, about 1973 or 74. And he learned big band techniques, some Latin and Brazilian techniques, and his lifelong favorite, jazz. His teacher was a dude named Charlie Adams, and I think this is going to blow you guys' mind when I show you this. This is awesome. So Charlie Adams became the drummer for, wait for it, Yanni. Yes.
that's rad.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
That's
I mean,
rad.
I'm not a huge Yanni fan, but it takes talent to be on
Yeah,
Yanni's.
you were mentioning
Drum set.
the big band influences. That's not. I don't think that's uncommon. Like,
Yeah,
who was the guy that played drums for?
Desi Arnaz.
No, he either played for Leno or the Max dude. His son is the drummer for Slipknot.
Really?
I think so.
I didn't know that. Weinberg, Max
Yeah,
Weinberg.
I think his son is the drummer for Slipknot.
That was Conan's drummer.
Okay.
Yep.
On the Conan O'Brien show.
Yeah, Max Weinberg.
Mm.
And who did he play for? Was it Huey Lewis?
Springsteen.
Springsteen. Okay. I get Huey Lewis and Springsteen mixed up in my head all the time,
That's
and
a
I don't know
shame,
why.
because Springsteen is awful. Sorry to all you Springsteen fans, but I hate Springsteen. Not to mention he's a very blue liberal Democrat.
Oh well.
I'm part of the working man system. No, you're not Bruce Springsteen. Shut up. You're not the boss of anybody.
All right, so by the time Jimmy Chamberlain was 15, he was gigging out regularly, which is kind of like DK. We played it in front of our moms a lot.
Oh yeah,
It was great.
no doubt.
Yep, Jay Weinberg, drummer for Slipknot.
Nice. That's cool. That's cool. So he was eventually able to quit his job as a carpenter to focus on the Smashing Pumpkins full time. But when he first showed up to practices, this is something that Billy Corgan had to say about him. He said he was wearing a pink T-shirt, stonewashed jeans, and had a mullet.
Well, this was the 80s.
He was driving a 280Z and had yellow drums.
So he was the coolest guy on the block in the 80s.
So you're thinking like the Smashing Pumpkins, the guy liner and Tears and everything, and Zach Morris shows up
That's awesome.
to play drums for him. So we were sort of looking at each other, and this is Billy Corgan talking about him and James Ehow. We were looking at each other in the eye, thinking this ain't gonna happen. This can't be the guy. Of course, then he sat down and played.
Yeah.
And he had learned all of the Pumpkin songs that existed up to that point.
Really?
And nailed them.
Wow.
And they were ready to go after like the first practice.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they went, "Okay, Zach,
He's
let's
a
play some
master.
music. Put your cell phone down. Let's play some music."
Right? Put your cell phone down. Put it back in the briefcase.
Yes, exactly.
So, I think I missed a key Smashing Pumpkins picture. Yes, this one is amazing. Check it out. Oh yeah, that shirt. Well, these shirts on all of them. That's incredible. Is it not showing up on your
Well,
shirt?
there's the delay.
Delay.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
It's all right.
It's
He'll be here in a second. We'll just sit here.
We're gonna sit here like
we can sit here and
idiots
whistle
looking
because it's
at
pretty special. You guys need to see this before we move on.
Ah, there it is.
There it is. Oh, wow. Wow.
The haircuts, the shirts. This is
What?
special. Yeah,
Man, that's
great.
amazing.
yeah, I love it.
That's almost as great as our first Disowning Caleb picture.
Almost.
Almost.
Up there in the sewer.
Why don't you
Yep,
go ahead
yep,
and throw
next to
that?
the
Why don't you
sewer,
go ahead
yeah.
and throw that up there again, just for some
Oh, I gotta find it.
contrast?
It's in the old photos folder.
It's in there somewhere.
Should be number
We showed this
one.
before, but I think it's appropriate to pair that side by side.
Agreed. Oh no.
Oh, no. You don't have it?
Yeah, I got it somewhere.
Okay. I got it somewhere.
Really?
Really?
First band photo.
Really?
Nailed it.
We were
Here we go.
so cool.
Yes.
There you go.
Mm.
So it's Pat, Aaron, Stu, and Josh.
Yeah. On the cusp of greatness.
Yep.
Or getting
Or,
kidnapped and murdered outside a sewer pipe. by
looks like
a
on the cusp
clown.
of tetanus.
Much
honestly.
closer to that, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was that at
It was in the ditch.
North Pass?
I believe so.
I think it was at North Pass.
So
yeah.
it was not the safest.
No.
I mean, it's about on par with the van seat in the toll
In the middle of
in the
the
toll
road.
booth parkway, where we're
Yeah,
just
in the
like,
middle- in the middle
car
of the road."
move.
Yeah.
Okay,
Grab it and go.
okay, the car's gone. Pull this van seat back in the road and take the picture.
That's awesome. All right, so we're going to compare that to this.
Yep.
And boy, I think that you guys at like 12 and 14 were way cooler than
They could have learned a thing or two
yeah.
about style
Yeah.
from us.
Oh yeah, I've always thought of myself as a trendsetter.
Nailed it.
Always.
All right, so let's
Magic.
let's keep moving on. So there was unfortunately a little bit of a drug habit that Jimmy developed. During the recording of the Pumpkins album Siamese Dream, he would disappear for days into the Atlanta drug subculture. His dad ended up passing away, and that sent his drug habit into overdrive. And it got so bad in '96 that the Pumpkins fired him after an overdose in an attempt to save his life. So Jimmy and their touring keyboardist both OD'd, but the keyboardist didn't survive. And I should have written that guy's name down.
Kind of a
Keith
history
something.
with piano and keyboard players.
Yeah.
I think Grateful Dead's keyboardist Pigpen
Really?
was one of the first ones to die from a drug overdose.
Wait, his name was Pigpen?
Mm-hmm.
So there was a member of the Grateful Dead named Pigpen.
This was the Grateful
Like-
Dead in the '60s, Brad.
So that's a level of
That
doesn't bathe.
That was probably a pretty tame name.
If they call him Pigpen, like I'm just getting at like nobody bathed in that band, I imagine. And if that dude was the one named Pigpen, it had to be really bad.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
That's my assumption.
they just had weird names. Was it Wavy Gravy?
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy. Me and Ashley watched a documentary on Woodstock, and they brought that guy in. His name was Wavy Gravy. That's what he called himself, and he was like a commune leader. He was one of like not Dennis Leary. Who's the guy, the doctor guy that did all the experiments and the tour bus around the country with LSD? Something Leary. What's his name? Timothy Leary.
Timothy Leary.
Yeah, he was one of his like kind of proteges or whatever, and I mean he looked, like he ain't been sober in 40 years.
Yeah.
24/7, 365 kind of deal. But they were set up like his guys were like the private security. They were the security and the police at Woodstock. They had like a tent set up where people could come in and like lay it, like chill out on their bad trips. When they ran out of food, they set up like a big soup kitchen and were feeding all the people. It was pretty wild.
That is pretty wild.
I mean,
and there was all the mud.
Yeah, I mean that was back when you could get 400,000 people together and get them stoned out of their brains, and it wouldn't result in everything being on fire.
Yeah.
We can't have that today.
Yeah, no.
That's
Apparently not.
Nope.
Everything's always on fire anyway.
Pretty much. Okay, so he did make it back in the band. Jimmy was brought back in the band in 1998 after the Pumpkins released.
Melancholy?
Nope. Melancholy was 90.
Oh, it was. What was that?
It was Adore.
Okay.
Adore. Yep.
Okay. I know. I never listened to that.
That was.
Was that now to clarify? It's not like a door.
Nope.
Or
ADORE.
No.
Oh, okay.
It's like, Josh, I adore it when you are adorably dumb.
Because I think like
you're adorable.
a door.
Yes.
A door, but it wasn't.
Like the door is a jar. No, it's not. It's a door.
A door. Yeah. And it was an alright album. It was okay.
Yeah, I kind of quit listening to him after Melancholy.
Yeah, I understand.
I was like, this just makes me sad. This
Well,
makes me want to lay on my floor and cut myself.
The name of that album was Melancholy.
And the Infinite Sadness.
Infinite Sadness.
I picked it up in the record store. I was like, oh, well, this sounds uplifting. I was wrong.
Yep. And after that, so he was back in the studio with the band from Machina 1 and 2. And Machina 1, even though my cousin Dave Campbell doesn't like Machina a whole lot, there's a few songs on it that are not skippers that I do like.
Now, is it Machina or is it actually pronounced Machina?
I think it's probably...
This is Cusada, Alabama. I have no idea.
I don't know, actually. I've never actually... I just thought about that and was like, what was the pronunciation intention there? They probably don't care.
Because of the Deus Ex Machina. Or
I'll clarify when we sit down for coffee.
Machina Evelli. I don't know.
No, I have no idea. I just listened to the album.
Yeah.
I don't
You guys shut up. Stop Stop correcting my pronunciation.
It was Machinier. That's how it's pronounced.
Machina.
Machina.
Machina. It was actually
me.
Italian.
It's Italian.
It's me, Billy Corgan.
That's awesome.
Billy Corgan.
Despite all my rage, I'm still just a rat in a cage.
So it's now Mario.
Yes.
As he's punching question marks.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Good times. Yeah.
Or pumpkins.
Smashing. Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yes. There's my one good joke for the day.
You nailed it.
Peace.
You nailed it. Let's see. So he did join with Billy Corgan a supergroup in, I think it was 2002. I didn't put the year in here. But he was in Zwan. Do you guys remember Zwan?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that group.
Love that album. It is still one of my favorite. Completely love it.
I haven't heard it in so long. I might have to let me look for it now.
Mary Star of the Sea is the name of the album, and you can't find it on Spotify. Yeah, it ain't there. Yeah.
Spotify.
So the well-known track off of that was Honestly. Remember that one? Yep.
Honestly, I don't.
Good times.
Perhaps you can find it.
We can't play it on here, though. That's the unfortunate part.
Oh, I want to play it on here.
Oh, man. So,
I mean, we can't get demonetized if we're not making any money.
Good point. That's a good point.
Demonized.
Demonized, yep. All right, so they were in... So Zwan had Billy Corgan, Jimmy Chamberlain, and it also had Paslin Chanton from A Perfect Circle. The bassist from A Perfect Circle. Of course, she was killer on the album. And like a side note that I have in here, that Paz and I are old MySpace friends, for the record. Yep. And I tried to find. She sent me a note one day and said, "Hey," and I thought then we were besties. But then I found out she did that to all of her MySpace friends to get some attention on something. So that was unfortunate. So we're not besties.
That happens.
I'm sorry.
Sometimes we drift apart. Time is a wicked mistress.
Yep.
Indeed.
Okay, so moving on, there is. Let me get to the next picture for reference because that's very important. Did we get that one? Here. Pick up the old Pumpkins picture. The dead end sign. There's Jimmy Chamberlain playing another DW drum set. There is Jimmy Chamberlain's LinkedIn profile picture. Because
Maybe you ever thought, you know what? That thought is just entirely too stupid, and I'm not even going to bother saying it.
Do it. Say it.
Okay, do you think they're going to have a LP drum kit for Launchpad?
I don't know what you're saying.
DuckTales. Or Tailspin, man.
Both.
Well, oh yeah, DuckTales, Tailspin, and Darkwing Duck.
Sorry.
It was all of it. Launchpad
Sorry.
is the man.
They do have an LP line of percussion instruments. It's
They do?
Latin percussion, yeah.
No, it's not. It's Launchpad. Launchpad McQuack.
Did you not hear anything he just said, Brad?
Oh, you're my favorite.
Launchpad.
No, it's not. All right, so the reason that Jimmy Chamberlain has a LinkedIn profile is because he was a tech CEO. He was the CEO of, what is it, Live One? I don't know, probably Live One.
Probably.
It was partnered with Yahoo, YouTube, and organizations like that.
Okay.
He was this tech CEO between 2011 and 2015, and it focused on entertainment media distribution. So it assisted entertainers
Makes sense. Makes sense.
with the broad sharing and socialization of their entertainment media. Things like live events, e-sporting, regular sports, and music festivals, stuff like that. Which is kind of cool. So that's why we're having coffee next week. It's for our tech startup.
Ah,
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
Is Jimmy Chamberlain going to be there?
Yeah, he's going to be there. It's just me and Jimmy. Yep. Me and Jay Sham. Because we're
Yeah,
we're
ask
going
him
live
about
with
that. You know,
Yeah.
make sure that he's okay with
No, I'll
that.
tell him about that.
Yeah, there you go. It's like this is happening.
This is a thing.
This
Jay
is a
Sham
thing.
is a thing. So let's see. Moving on. Because of Jimmy's jazz background, the saxophonist Frank Catalano drafted him to play a series of live shows in Chicago back in 2013. And apparently they were the best ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Apparently so.
I have to see if I can find that.
So they stayed together through 3 albums. And the first album, let me get the picture up again. So swap back to LinkedIn profile pic. Okay, so that's Frank Catalano in front of Jimmy Chamberlain on drums, and they're both obviously feeling that music. As is the upright bassist in the back.
It's on delay. So
Yeah.
I'll show up in a second.
So they recorded 3 albums.
Just use your imagination, Joe.
This is
I need pictures. I need pictures.
this is the album cover
Oh!
for.
We just saw a picture. It's just you.
Oh, am I on the wrong one? Yep.
Yep.
Oh, hang
Oh,
on, let me go
both
back. I'll
This
go
is
gasped
back.
in
great.
horror.
I love it.
That's pretty bad. All right,
I love it.
there you go.
Yes.
And it says laptop cam at the bottom.
It's gonna be
doesn't it?
you for a minute because there's a delay.
That's fine.
So yeah.
That'll be okay. That's unfortunate, but
We just
that'll be
lost
okay.
some subscribers. What's that in your beard, Brad? What'd you have
It's
for lunch?
probably water, if I had to guess.
It's a baby bird.
Yep, it's a baby bird. So, but speaking of baby birds, they recorded an album named Bye Bye Blackbird.
Right.
Danielle just sent me a text message that said switch cam.
Makes sense. There we go.
Now, please.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah,
they had space.
yeah, probably.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
It does indeed look like as if though they are
Saxophones
playing.
in space.
Yes.
Space.
yes, and they were
That's far out.
killer. And the album cover is going to pop up in just a second. But the album, the reason I'm focusing on the album cover so much is that the music that they're playing on that album is just like the picture.
Huh.
It is completely wild, all over the place.
See, I really like that really experimental stuff. Sometimes it gets really good. Like,
Yeah.
Medeski, Martin, and Wood. They're like
Yeah.
a jazz trio, but it's very experimental.
Yeah.
And it just like goes off, and then you're like, "Oh, am I having a brain aneurysm?" Oh, I like that.
That's what you feel like when you're listening to this.
I'm going to check this out.
There's 3 of them. So the first one is Love Supreme Collective, and that's the one that's just wild, totally all over the place. The second one is God's Gonna Cut You Down.
Like the Johnny Cash song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it debuted at number 2. So the first one, Love Supreme Collective, it shot up to the number 1 selling iTunes jazz album.
Wow.
Like ever.
Nice.
So the next one came out, and it was a little more subdued, a little more, I don't know, I'll say relatable, maybe. And it debuted at number 2 as the most played iTunes jazz album. And then in 2016, Bye Bye Blackbird, which was the picture of that one, came out, and it was also a jazz album. It didn't really do all that hot.
Oh, okay.
But
I mean, there's only so much jazz you can take.
Yeah.
You're just like, this is like math homework.
Well, and like most of the Frank Catalano stuff that I listened to was more on the relatable side, but that stuff with that first album, Love Supreme Collective, was completely wild, but it showcases really well the talent in all of those musicians.
That's awesome.
Just the things that dude can do on a drum set blow my mind.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check this out after we get out of here.
And that stuff never showed up. I won't say never. It didn't show up like that on Pumpkin's albums. You got a lot of rocks and really awesome straight beats, really good. Really
and
good
that was
rolls.
probably what they wanted him to do.
Yeah. He fit right into the mold for the Pumpkins really, really well. But man, this showed me what he could do, and it's just so much more complicated and complex than the Pumpkin stuff, which his stuff was already complicated with the Pumpkins a lot of times. Anyway, so moving on. The Pumpkins got back together. May 22nd of 2007, the Pumpkins reformed and played their first show with Corgan and Jay Sham as the only original members.
Really?
Soon after that, they released an album called Zeitgeist, which Zeitgeist means spirit of the time. Mm-hmm. So it's like they're trying to capture the spirit of the time with this album or whatever. I don't know that they necessarily did. I've listened to it, and it's Pumpkins. It's like, I don't know, like the Walmart version of Pumpkins.
I got
you know it's Pumpkins, but it's not anything that you're gonna I don't know, slap your mom about. Which don't slap my mom.
Your mom.
She'll take you out.
Your mom beat me with a piano.
She carries.
She carries a piano
choked me
with
to
her?
death with a piano wire.
You know, I actually believe that.
She's like, I got this piano wire. I just turned into a garrote just for you.
That's my mom.
Pronounce your death rattles correctly.
That's my mom, guys. So after a little bit of drama, Chamberlain left the band again. Of course, sorry. As of February 2018, Corgan, Chamberlain, and Eha were all 3 original members back in the Pumpkins, booking regular tour dates.
Nice.
Of course, little did they know that 2 years later, COVID would show up and wreck everything.
Wait, when did that happen?
2020.
That didn't happen.
Or 2019, whatever. And so the last note here is that Jimmy's birthday is June 10th.
Hey, that's my sister's birthday.
Nice.
My youngest sister, yeah.
Nice. Well, happy birthday, Katie.
Happy birthday, Katie.
Happy birthday, Jimmy Chamberlain, Jay Sham.
Yep, happy birthday, Jay Sham and Katie. We'll have y'all a joint party.
That'll be awesome.
Cookie cake.
All right, so I've done a lot of talking. I may need you guys' help on this next one.
All right.
So that we're getting to our Bible segment. I wanted to talk about 2 Corinthians 7 real quick, because there's this concept of godly grief or sorrow versus worldly grief or sorrow.
Okay.
We may also have to work on transitions into this kind of thing.
Maybe.
We're moving from. Anyway.
Maybe we'll have a little jingle.
I mean, I really like these hard left turns. It just flash, you know, it's really good.
Josh's neck is already hurting.
Yeah.
Good times.
All right.
Okay, so.
That was fun doing music stuff. Now it's time for the Bible show. Woo, woo, woo. There, there's your jingle. Done it.
I like that
done.
transition.
Cut, print.
Done. I love it.
Genius.
That's actually pretty good. I'll go back. I'll sample that. We'll have that.
Sheer genius.
I know.
I'm on it.
That's all I do, man.
All right, so 2 Corinthians 7. Let me get to there it is. So I've got, 2 Corinthians 7. It starts with a completion or like a follow-up from chapter 6. Mm-hmm. Chapter 6 ends with a section on separation to God. Like, talking about don't be tied down to unbelievers, don't be stuck in worldly things, and it asks the question. The end of chapter 6 asks the question: what partnership is there between righteousness and lawlessness? What fellowship is there between darkness and light? Therefore cleanse yourselves of impurities of the flesh and spirit. And so remember too, the 2 Corinthians is a follow-up of the first letter, follow-up from the first letter to the church in Corinth. And the first one was pretty scathing. It was like, you guys are doing a lot of dumb stuff. Don't do dumb stuff. Here's all the dumb stuff you're doing.
Don't do that.
This is what good looks like. You're doing all the bad.
Don't do bad. Bad. Good, good. Do good. Ain't that hard.
So in chapter 7, verse 2 starts with, accept us or make room for us, is kind of what that's talking about. Paul's making the point that we're one of you. We intend to live and die with you, Church of Corinth. We have great confidence and pride in you. And that's just a paraphrase of verse 2.
Gotcha.
And he follows verse 2 with talking about fighting through some internal and external frustrations, and it looks to me like there may be a little bit of depression in there. But Paul and his crew were re-energized when Titus showed up and told them that the Corinthian church had responded positively to the previous Corinthian letter. Mm-hmm. So it went well.
The Corinthian letter or the Corinthian leather? Rich Corinth. Which surprisingly is not a real thing. He made that up for the commercial.
Really? Mm-hmm. I was unaware.
Yep. Okay, sorry.
Well, that's all right. I may have misunderstood. But they read the first letter and they got his point. We're doing dumb stuff. Let's move from bad to good. Because bad.
One of the earliest examples of a come to Jesus meeting.
Yes.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Literally, that's awesome. So we're starting on verse 8 here. Right, where are we? It was too low.
Right after 7, but right before 9.
There you go. All right, so we're starting here. For even if I grieved you with my letter, I do not regret it, even though I did regret it, since I saw that the letter grieved you, yet only for a little while. Now I rejoice, not because you were grieved, but because your grief led to repentance. For you were grieved as God willed, so that you didn't experience any loss from us. For godly grief produces a repentance not to be regretted, and leading to salvation, but worldly grief produces death. For consider how much diligence this very thing, this grieving as God wills, has produced in you. What a desire to clear yourselves, what indignation, what fear, what deep longing, what zeal, what justice. In every way you showed yourselves to be pure in this matter. So even though I write to you, it's not because of the one who did wrong, or because of the one who was wronged, but in order that your diligence for us might be made plain to you in the sight of God. Did I get past it? Oh, it's right there. Awesome. Lined up really well. That's awesome. All right. I think that it's like, again, this concept of godly grief versus worldly grief, where godly grief leads to repentance, worldly grief leads to death. And godly grief being the concept of doing what's right because it's right, because the creator of the universe wants you to do it.
Right.
And then the worldly grief being doing what's right because you're afraid of punishment.
Yeah. I gotcha.
Yeah.
It's not. I guess it would be ingenuine.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah. Well, doing what's right for the sake of doing what's right.
Yeah.
Versus doing what's right so that you don't get punished.
Right.
Yeah.
Afraid of retribution. I mean, that's the only reason that you're doing it, not because you want to.
Yeah.
That seems like a big thing nowadays. Is nobody does anything right because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
You know, there is no right thing to do anymore.
Well, not anymore. Right.
It's whatever feels right to you.
Well, and whatever's not going to get you canceled.
Right. Whatever helps you find yourself.
Right.
You know, whether it be your pronouns, which I prefer we and
Us
fish.
And them. We and fish.
We and fish. Those are my pronouns.
PH? Fish?
No, just regular bloop bloop. Fish swimming around, bloop bloop, pooping in the ocean, bloop bloop.
Actually, someone asked me, about mentioning pronouns. I'll usually just be like, "What's a pronoun?"
I'm a product of public school.
I don't got no pronouns. I use proper nouns.
That's right.
First name basis only, which is not a bad idea now that I think about it. Always call everybody by their first name.
Yeah, it'll be like Charlie Brown.
Yeah. Or everybody in the third person. Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Hi, Charlie Brown. They'd always
the
use the
Charlie.
first and last name.
Well, my other hot dogs are done. I'm real hungry.
How many hot dogs you cooking?
Oh, I got a contest to train for. Oh, sorry, that was my chimichangas.
Chimichangas. I don't know. I guess to summarize it, and I do think that this concept is pretty huge. And Paul's saying that he didn't like to hurt their feelings with that first letter.
But you gotta hurt their feelings.
Well,
that's
but
a thing that nobody wants to do anymore. A lot of churches, they don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
They kind of go with the flow. They kind of do what the world does.
Yeah, well, and that's the point he was making. He really didn't like to hurt their feelings. That was awful. He didn't like it at all. But he was glad that it worked out the way that it did because it led them to start doing right for the purpose of doing right, and not to do it for the purpose of escaping punishment.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like we don't do the things that we do so that we don't end up in a lake of fire. We do the things that we're supposed to do because that's what you're supposed to do.
Right.
Or everything descends into chaos.
Right. It's right. Even if we were going to end up in the lake of fire, right is still right.
Yeah. That's something I'm struggling with, trying to get a 6-year-old to understand. You do this because it's right.
Yeah.
Man. At 41, I don't always get that.
Yeah. I got after him with a flip-flop the other day.
Good choice.
God is an
I went old Southern mama on him. I was like, boy, get over here. Whack.
but yeah, God is an all-knowing, all-powerful God, and so that's why it's like he makes these rules, and so therefore they are good and just, and
they are the correct ones.
They are the correct ones, exactly.
Yeah, he can. He's literally the one that made it, so he can make the rules. Yeah. That's all I had. Do you guys have any other ideas you wanted to talk about?
Off the cuff, I don't think so. If I had a little more time to talk to think about it, but that right there, I think that was the main thing was, that was a very good comparison with with the church.
Oh, thank you.
So
there's a lot of stuff going on. I didn't really realize it. A lot of the letters of Paul's letters are, hey, quit doing that dumb stuff.
Right.
You know, like we're teaching the kindergarten Sunday school class, which is God testing my patience.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, but it's great. But yeah, like it seems like every lesson we're just like, the believers were following false teachers and doing this wrong, and so there was a lot of, and we're back to it today. Just nobody's doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
sometimes you have to learn by failing. That was it. Just
Okay, Yoda.
I'm not talking about you. Anyway.
Yep.
Would you just call me a failure?
Yes, you're a failure
Goodness.
at life.
At life.
Yeah, I really don't know how it works. I just can't do it.
We'll get there, Stu. We'll get there. We're gonna keep after it.
Maybe when I'm old.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us. Our next episode may be off schedule a little bit. We plan on talking to Dr. Jim Graham.
We'll
try to get him in here.
That's gonna be good.
Yeah, I think it will.
What's are we still shooting for 2 weeks?
Yeah, we'll shoot for 2 weeks, but it might end up being on a Sunday night, and if it's not,
that's probably the way to do it.
Yeah,
that's right.
If we're gonna do it live, it may be on a Sunday night. If not, we'll record it Sunday night and broadcast it.
And then I definitely want to do the watch party. We gotta get that when Patrick gets back from Hawaii.
Yeah. Vernon,
when Vernon gets back, and when Boyack, when he gets back from whatever he's doing.
It's a birthday party or something.
Doing Boyack things.
He's doing what Boyaks do.
Yeah, Boyackian.
He showed up at my house a couple weeks ago. I just poked my head out the shed and I was like, "What you doing there, preacher?"
Yeah.
It was fun.
Oh, yeah, and he brought the guitar.
Yeah, he brought that. Yeah, and we did a little bit of setup on it, and I gave him
hitting my microphone.
I gave him some. Quit licking it,
it's
Josh.
too low. Yeah, I keep licking my microphone. It's so tasty.
Yeah,
we can fix that. We'll do that. All right, so we'll let everybody know what when the date and time is going to be for next episode.
Stay tuned.
In the meantime, check us out on Facebook and YouTube. Also, check out our website at www.disowningcaleb.com or dktalkradio.com.
Follow us on Twitter at Psych. We ain't got no Twitter.
We should get one of those.
We will eventually. We're working on that.
One of these days.
One of these days.
We've got one, but it was hijacked like 10 years ago, and Pat doesn't remember the credentials. Yeah.
Maybe the person that hijacked it will be listening to this and be like, you know what?
I'm going to give those
I'm going to give those guys back there.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So if you're listening to this, thanks in advance.
We really appreciate you helping us out with that. Also, our music can be found on iTunes and Spotify, and it's amazing.
It is really good. It is good.
Agreed.
I mean, it would be better if there was more of me on it, but that's because I'm a narcissist.
Yes, you are.
So we've got links in the show notes to all of the websites I use to gather the information for J Sham and Sea Captain Date and what is it?
I'm gonna make a
Folks
profile.
With, singles with allergies. Yeah.
Can we call? By the way, can we call Jim J Graham?
If you'd like to.
Okay.
J Graham.
I'm just gonna throw that at him next. When we do that.
Let's call him Graham.
Graham.
I think Graham will do.
Oh, Graham.
Graham.
Around these parts,
So
when the moon is full,
there's
Graham
also in the show notes there is a link to a plan of salvation that I think covers the process really, really well. So check it out. If there's curiosity, if there's questions, leave comments or whatever. We're glad to talk about it.
Yes.
Anyway, so we'll be back in a couple of weeks. Thanks you guys for joining us.
Appreciate you guys.
Adios, muchachos.
Yep. So everybody take care.
Bye.
Blah, blah.